going on, everyone? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about Tom Brady, and I'm going to give you the 5 teams that I believe Tom Brady should consider if he were to leave the New England Patriots. I'll put them in order from best to worst possible situations for Tom Brady. I'll go over the pros and cons for each team and why him going to each team makes sense. Personally, I do not think Tom Brady will leave the New England Patriots. As of right now, today, at the time of this recording, I could change my mind within the next 24 or 48 hours. But as of right now, I don't think Tom Brady leaves the Patriots. But there's been a lot of rumors and a lot of teams out there need quarterbacks. So if I'm Tom Brady, if I were to decide to leave the historic New England Patriots franchise, if I were to go elsewhere, where would I go and where does it make sense? Okay, I'll go over all those things, okay? Now, there are 2 teams that I did not put on my top 5 list because I just think that it's unrealistic that it's going to happen. I don't think that these 2 teams will move on from their quarterbacks. I believe the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys are 2 great fits for Tom Brady if they were to need a quarterback. But I don't think the Dallas Cowboys will move on from Dak Prescott, and I don't think the Chicago Bears will move on from Mitch Trubisky. But both of those teams make a whole lot of sense if those teams were to move on from those guys, okay? If I'm Tom Brady, I'm at least making a phone call to Jerry Jones because I think the Dallas Cowboys are the perfect fit for Tom Brady, okay? And both these rosters and both these teams are pretty similar. Both rosters have a lot of talent. I believe both rosters are good enough to probably win a Super Bowl. But on both these teams, they both have quarterbacks that have not gotten it done, okay? When you look at Mitch Trubisky and Dak Prescott, I don't believe either quarterback is worth $35+ million per year. I don't believe they're guys I want to pay long term. At least for Dak Prescott, I don't want to pay him a bunch of money long term, okay? They both won a division in the past, but I just firmly believe that both these quarterbacks to a certain degree are holding both those teams back, and I believe Tom Brady, at least for the next 2 years, could be a slight upgrade over these quarterbacks. So I won't rule out the Bears, and I won't rule out the Cowboys if they come calling to Tom Brady. Now let's get to my official list. The 5 teams that make the most sense for Tom Brady to go to. Number 1 is the Los Angeles Chargers. I believe the Chargers are the perfect, I shouldn't say perfect, but they're the best fit for Tom Brady if he were to leave New England, okay? This is a team a year ago that was 12-4 and won a playoff game. The truth of the Chargers is that this past season, they had a lot of injuries, they had a bad offensive line, and they had a quarterback in Phil Rivers who's just flat out washed. Phil Rivers is no longer a productive quarterback anymore. If you put a Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes on the Los Angeles Chargers, that team's a Super Bowl caliber team. The Chargers are picking 6th overall in the draft because they had a bad season. I don't think this team needs to go into full rebuild mode. I believe they're a quarterback and an offensive line piece away from being a serious Super Bowl threat, okay? This is a team right now that's very good wide receivers in Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. If they retain Hunter Henry, that's another weapon that Tom Brady could throw to. Austin Eckler is good enough to run out the backfield and catch passes and run in between the tackles. If they retain Melvin Gordon, that's another good running back. The secondary is locked and loaded, led by Derwin James and Casey Hayward and Desmond King. Great secondary when healthy. And the pass rush, you look at Joey Bosa, you look at Melvin Ingram. Very good pass rush, okay? And they recently just went out and got Trey Turner from the Carolina Panthers to bolster and boost up the offensive line. They also have the 6th overall pick in the draft, so they can add to that offensive line through the draft, and they've already improved it by adding another guard, okay? So if I'm Tom Brady, I don't want to go to a team with a bad offensive line. It's clear the Chargers have everything else except the offensive line, and it looks to me like they're trying to improve that area of their team. As far as Tom Brady's brand goes, I believe the city of Los Angeles is going to make him enough of a star to where branding is not going to be an issue. I believe Chargers fans would flock to that stadium to see Tom Brady play, especially playing in Los Angeles under that spotlight. And I think that Anthony Lynn is a very underrated coach, so I think it makes a lot of sense if Tom Brady goes to the Chargers. The next team that I think makes the most sense is the Tennessee Titans, okay? They have a very good offensive line, a very good running game with Derrick Henry. Now, if they were to sign Tom Brady to a big-time contract, I don't know if they'll be able to retain Derrick Henry long term, but if they can keep Derrick Henry and get Tom Brady with them, I mean, that's a very good running game and a very good offensive line. And if they were to lose Derrick Henry, obviously it would not be the same for their team, but you can plug in and play a running back in that system, and they can do very well behind the offensive line, okay? They have very good weapons with Corey Davis, who really had a great season this past year. A.J. Brown is a stud wide receiver that bursted onto the scene this year. They got some very good tight ends. I do want them to add another wide receiver. I think they need a third guy, but I think that wide receiver core right now is pretty serviceable. They have a very good secondary, and Mike Vrabel has a very good relationship with Tom Brady, dating back to the New England Patriot days, okay? I believe this is a winnable division. You know, that's the one thing about the Chargers I do push back on, is that Patrick Mahomes and the Denver Broncos are in that division. I think the Denver Broncos are going to be a team to be reckoned with next year if they're fully healthy. I think that they have a very good roster, and I do believe the Kansas City Chiefs have a chance to repeat next year. This division actually in Tennessee, the division that Tennessee is in is actually pretty winnable. I know Deshaun Watson is a very good elite quarterback in my opinion. To me, he's a top 5 quarterback in the game of football today. But I don't like the Texans' overall structure and their coaching staff. I think they can be had. I believe that a team like the Titans, if they add a serviceable quarterback and Tom Brady, they can really compete. Now, I understand Ryan Tannehill had a very good season last year, but if they were to move on from Ryan Tannehill, I think Tom Brady can make it work. This is a team that made a run to the AFC title game this past season. I believe if they add another pass rusher or two in the draft, they can really be talking. And I just believe that this is a very good fit from a football perspective. The branding is kind of meh because Tennessee, I don't know if Giselle wants to move to Tennessee. There's been some talks about Giselle wanting to not move to Indianapolis, not move to a city that's not very well known because of her modeling. So I think branding matters, but I believe Tom Brady will have weapons to throw to. He'll have a real running game at his disposal, a very good offensive line, a very good head coach in a winnable division. I think it makes a lot of sense. Up next, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I think that Jameis Winston is a very good slot quarterback, but he is very mistake prone. Now, if I'm Tampa Bay, I don't move on from Jameis Winston. I keep him for one more year, and I bolster and booster up my offensive line and improve my running game and see what Jameis Winston gives me next year. But Jameis Winston, at times, has not gotten it done, okay? This guy threw 30 touchdowns. That's great this past season, but also 30 interceptions. It is alarming how many times Jameis Winston turns the football over. It's frustrating to watch at times. Tom Brady's a very safe quarterback. He does not turn the football over a whole lot. I believe Bruce Arians loves the type of quarterback that Tom Brady is, a quarterback that will take the checkdowns, a quarterback that will make the save plays, that will not put his team at risk to lose the game, okay? And he's going to have weapons to throw to. You know, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans are very good. O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate, they're two very good tight ends. And improving uprising defense in Tampa Bay, okay? Now, I don't think this is the ideal fit because I think Tampa Bay needs to drastically improve their offensive line. And I do believe they need to improve their running game for this to be the ideal fit for Tom Brady. Also, I do think the Saints are very talented. And I don't know if you want to compete with Drew Brees in that division. But again, I think this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is on the uprise. And I believe Tom Brady could definitely make it work in Tampa Bay if they improve the offensive line and give him a real running game to work with. I think it makes a lot of sense. I believe Bruce Arians would definitely be up for Tom Brady replacing Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay. I would not personally move on from Jameis, but again, if Bruce Arians wants to do that, it makes some sense. The last two teams I'm going to put are the Indianapolis Colts and the Oakland Raiders. I think the Colts make a lot of sense because they can improve their team this offseason. They have the most cap space in the entire NFL. Okay, they can improve their roster. They play in a dome. That's something Tom Brady probably will benefit from, being a much older quarterback, not having as much arm strength, not being as athletic as he once was. I think playing in a dome really helps him. It's a very winnable division. Like I said, I think Houston is talented but dysfunctional at times. I think Tennessee is good, but I'll take my chances with Tom Brady versus Ryan Tannehill if you give Tom Brady some weapons. And Jacksonville's Jacksonville. So, you know, this is the best offensive line in football that the Colts have at their disposal. They have two really good running backs that I like. And I think that Frank Wright is a very good, bright, upcoming, young head coach. And a year ago, when the Indianapolis Colts had a very good quarterback in Andrew Luck, they won a playoff game. They made it to the division round of the playoffs. So if they have a very good quarterback, I believe this team can be above 500 and compete in the playoffs. Now, they do have the 13th overall pick, so they could add a weapon or another playmaker on defense in that regard, because I do think the Colts need to add another piece or two on both offense and defense for me to really take them seriously as a true Super Bowl contender. Let's be real, Tom Brady's like, what, 42, 43 years old? He needs a little bit more support than he's had in the past. So, look, I don't love the Colts' weapons. I think they need to add a little bit more juice to that wide receiver core in order for Tom Brady to fully prosper. But again, I like the offensive line. I like the running game. I like the coach. I like the division. I like the fit. I think Indianapolis could be a solid spot for Tom Brady. I personally would sign Tom Brady over Philip Rivers if I could. I know Philip Rivers has been linked to the Colts. If I'm the Colts, I sign Tom Brady over Philip Rivers, because right now, Tom Brady is a much better quarterback than Philip Rivers. And the final team on my list is going to be the Oakland Raiders. If you're just talking about Tom Brady not wanting to win Super Bowls, I believe the Oakland Raiders are actually the best fit. If we're just talking about Tom Brady, if he doesn't put winning Super Bowls as his number one priority, I fully believe he should go to Oakland, because I think the Oakland Raiders, I should say the Las Vegas Raiders. I gotta get that right. The Las Vegas Raiders. I believe the Las Vegas Raiders will embrace Tom Brady. It's a new city that they're moving to from Oakland to Las Vegas. I believe that John Gruden is going to do everything in his power to make Tom Brady happy. I believe the fan base will definitely embrace Tom Brady. I believe they will definitely sell tickets. And I just think that they're going to go all out and try to help Tom Brady. They have some of the most cap space in the NFL this offseason. They've shown the ability to make some trades and make things happen. You know, this past offseason, they went out and got Trent Brown to improve the offensive line. They went out and traded for Antonio Brown. Obviously, Antonio Brown did not fully work out for that team, but either way, the Oakland Raiders have shown that they're going to take risks. They're going to bring in players that are going to help their team, even if it might be a little bit risky. So I think that they're the type of team that will go all out to make Tom Brady happy. I think that John Gruden would be joyful to coach Tom Brady. I believe the brand of Tom Brady will get fully maximized potentially in Las Vegas. They have some draft picks. They got the 12th overall pick. They got the 19th overall pick. They don't have very many weapons. Okay, they need to improve that wide receiver core, because outside Terrell Williams and Darren Waller on the outside, I don't see much. I like Hunter Renfrow, but I think he's more of a number 3 option on your team, not a number 2. I think they need to get a legit number 1 wide receiver for Tom Brady to really have a lot of success in that offense. But again, I like the offensive line. I like Josh Jacobs. I do push back, because I do believe if the Chargers, let's say they sign Cam Newton or a veteran quarterback with that roster, they're better than the Oakland Raiders. I believe the Denver Broncos are better than the Oakland Raiders. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs most definitely are a better roster than the Oakland Raiders. But as far as just Tom Brady's brand, as far as Tom Brady wants to do things outside of football besides win Super Bowls, if Tom Brady wants to just be happy, I believe Oakland is the best fit for Tom Brady. So again, my top 5 teams for Tom Brady that makes the most sense if he were to leave the New England Patriots: number 1, the Chargers; number 2, the Titans; number 3, the Buccaneers; number 4, the Colts; and number 5, the Oakland Raiders. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? You know, or potentially if it doesn't, you know, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, you know, get other people hip to this channel, you know, just share this channel with all your friends. Share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God bless day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.